What is up, everyone? My name is Jack Southall, back again with another video, and today I am here with my Ultima Lucha 2 review. And man, these last 3 episodes of Lucha Underground were fucking sick. I think it's official. Lucha Underground is the best wrestling show out there right now. It really is. You know, these last 3 episodes for Ultima Lucha 2, the first 2 shows were a 1-hour show and the final was a 2-hour special, were so good. They were so much fun to watch. So altogether, if you had to watch this from start to finish, this is like a 4-hour show, so like WrestleMania length almost. But yeah, let's not fuss about. Let's get straight into the show. We'll talk about night 1 first. And the first match we had here was, there's been a tournament going on for Dario Cueto's Unique Opportunity Tournament. It was Cage versus the Mac, just like last year, which is pretty cool. However, Dario Cueto comes out and says that he's going to make this match Falls Count Anywhere, just like last year. And my god, these two guys, they went at it, man. There was a power slam onto a trash can. And they even fought around. They fought everywhere, dude. They even fought in Dario Cueto's office, for God's sakes. There was a bit where Cage powerbombed the Mac through some chairs, which was pretty brutal. And they grabbed and they find this fucking pinata full of weapons, which I thought was really funny. I believe Cage got busted open during this match, I'm pretty sure. Mac got a couple of Steve Wises and hit the stunner just like last year, which is always pretty cool. And then the Mac, Jesus Christ, he puts Cage onto a table after hitting him with like a chain or something. He puts him on the table. He climbs up to the bleachers of the temple. Look, if there's one thing I love about Lucha Underground when they do these kind of hardcore matches, they use the arena to their advantage. They use the temple because in WWE you can only like climb the turnbuckles, maybe fight onto the stage, grab a ladder or something, but because it's such a small like kind of arena almost, it's like you can jump off anywhere and do anything off of it. That's what I love about it so much. So they get to one of the bleachers and he hits a frog splash off the bleachers through the table, which was just absolutely insane. Probably the spot of the match, in my opinion. And then Cage, just like their match at last year's Ultima Lucha Uno, I'm guessing, he grabs the cinder block, and I thought, oh, he's going to crack his head through it. But no, the Mac rolls him up to get the victory, which I thought was pretty cool. Cage put in a great effort throughout this match, and so the Mac. This was just a fun, hardcore wrestling, which I'm always down for. And then we get to the other semi-final match in the Unique Opportunity Dario Cueto thing. It is Texano versus Son of Havoc. Dario comes out again to say, well, I see a cowboy, Texano, and I see a biker in Son of Havoc. Why not make this a Boyle's Height bar fight? So that's the new stipulation added to the match, which no one seems to have a problem with. And I don't know which one was more brutal in the spots. I'd say Cage and Mac because of the blood, but some of the stuff they were doing, Jesus Christ. There's one bit in particular where before we get into all the crazy stuff, there was they find like a firefighter's helmet, and Texano goes to break a bottle over Son of Havoc's head, but he just completely no-sold, which I thought was really funny. And then they got a bunch of like broken bars of like some bar stools. They got a bunch of broken bits of it because, you know, there was like a little trolley full of like beer and all that. So they get the bar stools and they're hitting it with each other, and there's a whole heap of like broken bar stools, like wood and all that. And then Havoc, Jesus Christ, hits the Hurricane Runner, and Texano lands on the broken bar stools. And then, just to make things even worse, he gets back body dropped onto the trolley where all the glass bottles are. Like, fuck's sake. And you can see some of the glass sticking out of his back. It was really hard to watch. And then, just to make things even worse for Texano, Son of Havoc puts broken glass into this box, right, of the broken beer bottles, puts them all in a box, and then double stomps, I think it was his face, into the box. Oh my god. He wins the match, and so and poor Texano just tries to get all the glass out of his face. That was fucking brutal. Just, oh my god. And then Son of Havoc moves on to the MAC in the finals of the Unique Opportunity. And then Dario announces, because his opportunity is apparently so great, he's going to make this also Falls Count Anywhere. And unlike the other two matches, this really wasn't exactly hardcore, which I kind of get because, these two guys just went through just both absolutely, hardcore matches. So they kind of toned this down for this one. But how this ended, Son of Havoc ended up hitting the Shooting Star Press to get the victory, which looks fantastic, by the way. So Son of Havoc has won the tournament, but of course Darius comes out with his bodyguard, Black Lotus, the really hot Asian chick from last season, and they both come out with two briefcases. One of them contains $250,000, and the other one contains a contract for a Lucha Underground Championship match at Ultima Lucha Tres. And then Dario pretty much says, okay, which one do you want to pick? And Havoc says, you know what, I don't need the money, I want a Lucha Underground title shot. And Dario says, alright, as long as you beat one more opponent, okay? And if your opponent wins, he takes the money. If you win, you get the title shot. And I was like, alright, let's go. And then Famous B comes out. Now, during the whole season, he's been doing like these kind of like advertisements to like find a new client or someone. Well, I guess he found a client because he got Dr. Wagner Jr., who is one of the most popular luchadors out there. I have heard of Dr. Wagner Jr. He's a very popular guy on the Lucha Libre scene in Mexico. And so they're having their match. He apparently has a girlfriend called Brenda or whatever, which is alright. Son of Havoc tried his best to get the win, but of course the fresh Dr. Wagner hit him with like a doctor driver, I believe he calls it, and he wins the match and the $250,000. And I felt really bad. I wanted Son of Havoc to win so badly because he became one of the most popular guys in Lucha Underground, but unfortunately he didn't get the win, and I think Dr. Wagner Jr. is going to have a much bigger role in the future, in my opinion. So that was night one. I'd say that was the fun one. Lots of hardcore stuff, twists and turns all over the place. Very fun. Then we get to night two with the Gift of the Gods Championship, which is a 7-person elimination match for the belt, which involves Killshot, Dagger, Sexy Star, Marty the Moth, his sister Mariposa, Sinestro de la Mocha, who used to be part of the Disciples of Death, and a new guy by the name of Nightclaw. He kind of wears like a black jaguar or panther mask. It looks kind of weird, but it's okay because he did very well in this match. He ended up eliminating Sinestro really early on. He hit the Phoenix Splash on Dagger to eliminate him, so he eliminated 2 people straight off the bat. And he did something really cool where he climbed on top of Dario's office, and like I said before, the great thing about Lucha Underground is they use the entire temple to their advantage. So he does a moonsault off of his office onto the other competitors, which was really cool. But he went to face Killshot for a bit, and hit the Phoenix Splash on him, but he completely missed. He hit his Storm Cradle Driver to get Nightclaw eliminated, and then it was down to Killshot and Sexy Star with Marty and Mariposa, so they kind of teamed up for a bit. However, Mariposa and Marty ended up double teaming Killshot. She hit the Vertebreaker on him, and Killshot was eliminated, and so it's like, oh fuck, Sexy Star could actually win. So they double team Sexy Star for a bit, and Mariposa holds her up, and Marty goes for like the power of the punch thing, but Sexy Star moves out of the way, Mariposa, and Marty hits Mariposa, and he's like, oh, what have I done? And she ends up getting eliminated, and then Sexy Star ends up making Marty the Moth tap out to win the Gift of the Gods Championship. What a great story for Sexy Star. I mean, at the end of Lucha Underground Season 1, she ended up getting taken by Marty the Moth, and he said, you should meet my sister and all that, which ended up being Mariposa. So it was nice to see Sexy Star finally get a revenge on Marty the Moth, making him tap. And not only that, she's winning the Gift of the Gods Championship, so she could win the Lucha Underground title. That would be unbelievable if she did that. Holy shit. But we'll just have to wait and see. Congratulations, Sexy Star. You are a great female wrestler. And yeah, I'm very excited to see what you can do. Then we get to this... we're inside a police office, whatever. And Mr. Cisco, who used to team up with Cortez Castro, who is... Cortez is now secretly like a cop or whatever with Joey Ryan. And he's getting all wired up by the two cops and all that, so they can kind of find out Dario Cueto's whole deal and all that to crack down on Lucha Underground and all that. And then Cisco's like, I might get killed by this guy. But the cops are like, dude, you'll be fine, it's all good. And we'll talk about more of that later on. So then we get to the death match between Mil Muertes and King Cuerno. Of course, these two guys had a bit of a feud. King Cuerno interfered during the casket match right at the end between Mil Muertes and someone else. I kind of forgot. So we get to, when we first start off, we see them fighting around the temple, and they even fight in the little area where they have the bands perform before the show, which is pretty cool, and they're using some of the guitars and the drum stuff as weapons, which I thought was pretty funny. And then Cuerno nearly falls off of it, but he holds on by his fingertips, and then Muertes stomps him and he falls off. So they fight up the stairs and they throw each other through windows, and then Cuerno kind of falls down the stairs, which I just thought was pretty funny for some reason. And then during the match, King Cuerno grabs Katrina, which is like his wife or his girlfriend, something like that, his lover, and he grabs her, but then Muertes stops him. He fucking gets pissed off, spears him through a table. They'd set up a bunch of tables around them, and then he power bombs him from 3 separate tables, which was ridiculous. He hits Cuerno with a crowbar, hits him with the tombstone, and wins the match. It wasn't as violent and bloody as the matches that were on night 1. I mean, when you think of a death match, you think of absolutely, sick and fucked up kind of things. Kind of like the match that Vampiro and Pentagon Jr. had last year, which was, my god, I can't find anything that can beat that on mainstream television. But yeah, this was still a very good match, and it was good for Mil Muertes to finally get back at King Cuerno for kind of pretty much stalking him. But then again, that's kind of King Cuerno's gimmick, is to be the hunter and kind of stalk his prey, so yeah. And then we get to Vampiro, who's commentating with Matt Striker, and he announces he's going to be in the corner of Pentagon Jr., and that he's going to help him train as well. So then after that, we get to Dario Cueto's office, and he's talking to Mr. Cisco, and he's pretty much wired up, saying, hey, remember the old days we used to hang out and all that? And then Dario's like, okay, what's going on? Are you wired up at the moment? He rips his shirt and he sees the wire, and Joey Ryan and Cortez are in the back. It's like, oh shit, he's found out. And he says, am I getting arrested for murder? I don't know. Well, I am now. Grabs this Red Bull statue that Matanza used to kill his mother and literally beats him to death. Actual death. Let me turn off my phone here. Yeah, just grabs it, beats his head in until he dies. Mr. Cisco dies on this show, and then he grabs the phone and says, it's time. So shit, what's going on there? Not exactly sure, but he's gonna be someone big to come into Lucha Underground, and I cannot wait to see who it is. So now it's time for the big 2-hour special, night 3, and we get Pentagon going into a cave with Vampiro, and he's gonna train him to pretty much kill the man that has fear, which is Pentagon Jr. And so they go into this big battle where lights are flickering on and off and shit, and Vampiro pretty much says he's now ready, and the light must be extinguished because he's gone fully dark, which is pretty awesome. So then we get to a Trios Championship match between Drago, Aerostar, and Phoenix, the challengers, which is Fire, Space, and Fury, I believe they're called, taking on the Worldwide Underground, the champions, Johnny Mundo, PJ Black, and Jack Evans. And they are pretty much heels to the fullest. I mean, Mundo poked Phoenix in the eye. I believe Mundo used a low blow, and Black pretty much used the title belt on his face. Like, by the way, Phoenix got a lot of shit on. And the referee were pretty much taking a stop to a lot of things, because the Firespace and Fury tried to jump over the top, but the ref stood in front of them and said, hey, you can't do that, go back to your corners. Fans booed the ref, which I thought was pretty funny. But Phoenix tried to do a 450 splash off the top on Mundo, but Jack Evans pulled the ref out when he nearly got the win. And then the Worldwide Underground, they all get their Trios titles. They play air guitar, and guitar music actually goes on in the background, which I thought was quite hilarious. And they all hit Phoenix in the head while the ref was down. And then all of a sudden, Angelico returns. For those of you who don't know, Angelico, Ivelisse, and Son of Havoc were the Lucha Underground Trios champions, but they lost their titles to Rey Mysterio, Prince Puma, and El Dragonés take on an episode because Angelico was in a unfortunate accident. He was taken out by someone, which was probably Johnny Mundo. And so Phoenix hits the sit-out tombstone, and Fire, Space, and Fury end up winning the Trios Championship. Really cool match, and I cannot wait to see what those three guys have in store for the Trios titles. Then we get to El Dragon Azteca Jr., which is the guy that was trained by Rey Mysterio, taking on Black Lotus, the female bodyguard to Dario Cueto. And this was a pretty back and forth match. Lotus got a lot of strikes in. Azteca was more high fly. As Azteca was going up to the rope, all of a sudden Pentagon comes out and hits Azteca to get the disqualification victory. And then he goes and breaks both of their arms, and which was crazy. He cuts a promo, and he has no white on his mask. It's complete black. And then he cuts a promo saying about how he defeated his master at Ultima Lucha Uno, and how he has now killed Pentagon Jr., and thanks to his master, he's gone to a much darker place. He is now Pentagon Dark, and he is Zero Muerto, which I love that saying. And the ring announcer, Melissa Santos, says, oh, by the way, fuck me, she's gorgeous. And she announces that there must be a winner to the Lucha Underground Championship match between Pentagon Dark and the Monster Matanza, who is Dario Cueto's brother, I'm pretty sure, who debuted at Aztec Warfare to win the championship. And so Pentagon, he was kicking Matanza's ass, which was really weird, because they built up Matanza as this fucking unstoppable monster of a man. I mean, he was choking him out with Pentagon was choking him out with a table, hitting him with a chair, and then Vampiro, after a few moments had gone throughout the match, he hands him a barbed wire covered baseball bat. He tries to stop Pentagon, and then Dario Cueto tries to interfere to stop Pentagon, but he gets caught. He nearly breaks his arm, and just about to do it, Matanza gets the baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire and smacks Pentagon in the back with it, hits his Wrath of God spinny slam thingy, retains the championship, and then right afterwards Vampiro tried to console Pentagon, ask him if it's all okay, but Pentagon tells him back off, and he leaves. So yeah, I actually didn't expect Pentagon Dark to win, because they kind of put the Lucha Underground Championship match in a weird spot, and so I thought they could kind of get away with it. But what does that mean for Matanza? I think they're going to go much further with him as Lucha Underground Champion, and I can't wait to see. I mean, someone's got to stop him. I don't know if it's going to be Sexy Star, because comparing Matanza to Sexy Star, I don't know. She could do it, but I don't know. I think it has to be someone really special to beat Matanza, but we'll just have to wait and see in the future. Then we get to Taya versus Ivelisse to decide who is the true baddest bitch in the building, because that's what Ivelisse has been calling herself. And so throughout this match, Taya threw Ivelisse into the apron, kind of mocked her. They kind of fought all over the place. They went to the first level crowd. Ivelisse hit a high crossbody back onto the floor, and then Ivelisse started to get some momentum in the match until the lights go out, and then Katrina shows up. She hits this Barbie Crusher thing, I think that's what it's called, on her. She then leaves. Taya hits a double stomp finishing thing, wins the match. Katrina then comes back in the ring and says, "Death comes to everyone, even you, bitch." Gives her the lick of death, which is so sexy, by the way. Smacks her down, and she leaves again. So My God, Katrina is fucking hot, by the way. So yeah, they kind of been building this up for a while. Katrina and Ivelisse, and I think at Ultima Lucha Tres or whatever match, they're going to have a match with each other, and it should be fucking awesome. And now we get to, holy shit, we get to this match. The main event, Rey Mysterio Jr. versus Prince Puma. The face of Lucha Underground versus the face of Lucha Libre in general. This is a match. I would go into detail about the spots about this, but you have to see this match to believe. It's honest. It might be one of my favorite matches of the year. It was fucking amazing. Absolutely amazing. They shake hands to start off, and it was pretty much, the commentators pretty much put over how Puma is the younger star while Rey is a more experienced veteran. And to me, it kind of felt like The Rock versus Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 18. I really got that feel, except the actual in-ring quality was a lot better than Rock versus Hogan, in my opinion anyway. Fucking back and forth match, heaps of near falls, lots of edge of your seat action, but Rey wins with the 619, and the West Coast pop came back, which I loved, and he got the win. They both hug afterwards, and oh my God, what a moment for Prince Puma and Rey. I mean, that guy can still go. I mean, he wasn't as featured much on WWE during the end of his tenure, but my God, he was so good in this match. I mean, and Rey's kind of towards the end of his career by now, but holy shit, what a main event. Absolutely excellent. Please watch that main event. And we think, oh, this is where it's going to end. What a great feel-good moment to end. That is until Pentagon Dark just super kicks Matt Striker, grabs Vampiro, and absolutely beats the shit out of him. Grabs that barbed wire baseball bat from before and just grinds it on Vampiro's head, causing him to just fucking bleed all over his face, which was gross. And then Pentagon grabs the mic and he says he's now the master, Zero Muerto, and starts licking Vampiro's blood. I think he's going to need a tetanus shot after that. It was really gross and fucked up, but it fits Pentagon's character, so shit, what's that going to mean for Pentagon, man? It's going to be crazy, honestly, to see where Pentagon goes now that he's no longer with Vampiro. And then as soon as that finishes, Dario Cueto ends up getting arrested by the police, taken into the van, and he's seen as the car leaves. As the lights are flashing, you can see him smiling, because the guy he was ringing before on night 2, he's probably going to come and take over Lucha Underground. So, oh man, what a cliffhanger! What the last couple of episodes of Lucha Underground, man. My favorite match would have to be Prince Puma versus Rey Mysterio, hands down. You need to watch this match. It is one of the matches of the year right now. Wrestling in general, absolutely fucking fantastic. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. This Lucha Underground Ultima Lucha DOS was fantastic. Please go check it out. And yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like. Comment down below what you thought of this, what you thought of Ultima Lucha DOS. And if you want to see more from me, hit that subscribe button. You'd be glad you did. Twitter and Instagram is at JackamanLower31 if you want to check me out there. Also, check out my fellow Bullshit Club members, Mr. HTV and the 5'8". Their channels will be in the description below. Holy shit, this video has gone a long time. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm out in 3, 2, 1.